the person they remember is not the one who mauled them.
Which means we still don't know who did this, nor why they left the whelp alone in the forest.
Correct, which is why I'm meeting with Detective Pierce, if she's in the office today anyway. Hold down the fort while I'm gone, Tyler.
Will do. How's the whelp doing?
They're okay. I can't imagine what all of this is like for them. The mauling is traumatic enough on its own, but they never even knew werewolves existed, much less how to become one. It makes me wonder what kind of werewolf would do this.
Since you'll be gone for a while today, I'll ask the whelp if they feel like taking a tour. It'll give me a chance to work on my people skills.
Sounds like a good idea. They could use some time away from the house. I'll talk to you when I get back.
Okay, Mom. Good luck. Hey there. I'm Tyler. Yeah, the Alpha's son. I'm also the Pax Beta. Nice to meet you. What's that? My voice sounds familiar? I'm glad you listened. To be honest, I wasn't sure if I could get you here alive. It's good to see you awake and alert. When Mom said she thought you'd been mauled, well, it's not something everyone survives. Why haven't I come by before? I was afraid I'd remind you of the attack. And also Gretchen kicked me out. She's a little protective of her patients. I thought you might like to take a tour around the homestead today. If you're feeling up to it. Yeah? Okay then. Let's take a walk. Here, give me your hands. Stand up. Easy. There you go. Now, are you sure you feel like taking a walk? Okay. Makes sense. I hate being cooped up too. I'll show you around. Let you meet some of the others. We're not a big group, so it won't take long. And they've all heard about you. All good things. Besides, everyone loves a new whelp. So you'll have that going for you. Okay then, let's go. Is this the first time you've been outside since you got here? Really? No wonder you were feeling cooped up. Well, in that case, maybe we'll stay outside for a while after the tour. You could use some fresh air. So, this is our homestead. Like I said, we're not a big pack. There's maybe 10 of us here. Well, there were 12 when Dad and his beta were here. What happened to them? Well, after my dad was killed, Lucas challenged for Alpha. He felt that a sanguine-born had no place in leading a pack. It hurt his pride that he was bested not only by a sanguine-born, but a female one at that. Lucas disappeared shortly after, and we haven't heard from him since. What about my dad? He was a good man, and a strong wolf. He and Mom were a perfect match. To lose him like we did, well, it hurt all of us. What happened was unexpected. But I'm not here to give you a pack history. Come on, let's get started. This is the Carson house. Mom and Dad designed it and had it built. Enough room for a family and the occasional guest. I grew up here, too. Did I know the neighbors? Well, kind of. I knew Mason's granddad. He owned the forest and left it to Mason after he died. Mr. Tierney seemed nice, if a little strict. Kept to himself, mostly. And Mason and I didn't meet until we were in college. What's Mason like? He's a great guy. One of the best friends I've ever had. Bit of a loner, but he'd do just about anything for anybody. This is the infirmary. Gretchen keeps this place in tip-top shape. How long have I known Gretchen? Well, my whole life. We grew up together. Yep, right here in the homestead. It was great, but it was difficult for us sometimes. Well, I used to go play at my human friends' houses, but they couldn't come here. When I was about 5 or 6 years old, I got pretty upset about it one day. Gretchen told me she understood, because she couldn't have friends over either. So we decided to have a camp out in the backyard. My parents pitched a tent and helped us make s'mores. We had a great time, until Dad decided to come and rattle the tent and scare us. Of course, when we got older and started college, we might have been a little rebellious. Like the time we shifted and howled at the moon during the town's Halloween festival and scared people half to death.
I can't believe you're telling this story.
Oh, come on, Gretchen, it was funny.
Yeah, but you left out some information. 1, Mason was with us because he was just as rebellious, and 2, you make it sound like I was a willing participant.
You dared us to do it!
That's true. But the 2 of you dragged me to the festival with you. I didn't have a choice.
Mom wasn't too thrilled when she heard us talking about it later. And she had to talk with Gretchen's parents.
Who then had a talk with me.
She didn't tell Mr. Tierney, but I think Mason was afraid that she would. You've seen my mother. She can be a pretty commanding presence. Just the threat of being outed was enough to keep us in line. For a little while.
Let's just say we learned to be more careful about getting caught. How are you feeling today, Whelp? Good. You gave us quite a scare during your coma, but I'm glad you woke up when you did. I thought Judith was going to start climbing the walls. Well, she was worried. I'm a wolf born like Tyler, so I didn't have the same experience Judith had. She knows more about the coma process than I do. Me? I took over as pack healer and medic after my mom died last year. We rarely have anything so serious it requires a trip to the emergency room. So what are you guys doing?
Taking a tour of the homestead and getting the whelp out and about.
Just be careful. Fresh air and movement will help you recover faster, but your instincts aren't under control yet. Might be best to have someone with you when you go out, at least for a little while.
Thanks, Gretchen. I'll look after them today.
Speaking of getting out, I need to do some foraging in the woods this week, replenish our supplies. Maybe you'd like to join me. It will let you get some exercise. Sounds good. I'll come by in a few days. I'll even bring a picnic lunch.
Mind if I tag along?
Sure, but you'll have to carry everything.
Depending on the lunch, it might be worth it. See you, Gretchen.
Have fun on the tour. Don't let Tyler wear you out.
No, ha ha. Seems like a nice person. Yeah, Gretchen has a good heart. Makes perfect sense for her to be a healer. She's also a bit stubborn. I've seen her fuss at her patients when they weren't listening to her, and oh boy. Don't believe it, huh? Oh yeah, Gretchen can be a real terror. Alright, so this is our main community area. This is where we all gather for events or just come together to hang out. Those kinds of things. It's also where we meet for pack rituals, like first shifts and initiations. Your first shift? I don't know a whole lot about how Sanguineborns prep for it, but it's not a pack affair. They pick out the people they want with them. Then after they shift, the others also shift and join them for a run. We try not to go too far because the Sanguineborn doesn't know when they'll shift back into their human form. And, anyways, I'll let Mom go into more detail about that. Moving on. You didn't expect to see so many cars here? Well, we may live in the woods, but we aren't hermits. Most of us have jobs in town or farther out. Do we worry about being followed home? Nah. It's no secret to the people in town that some folks are living in a little homestead near the woods. I think being open about it actually makes us feel a little safer. At least we haven't had any problems yet.
Tyler,
Hey, Daniel.
is this the new whelp?
Yep.
Nice to meet you.
Daniel's one of our guards. They patrol the homestead 24/7. Make sure we don't get surprised.
It's usually pretty quiet. Even the night we found you. Sorry, don't mean to bring up bad memories or anything.
I'm showing them around today and letting them get some exercise.
That's good. Most of the pack is out for the day. Work and school, those kinds of things. If you're up for it later, maybe you could join Maggie and I for dinner. Venison sounds like a good idea. Haha. Yeah, I'm gonna shift into wolf form, hunt it down, and then drag it back here in my jaws. No, I'll be hunting like humans do, except with a bow and arrow. More of a challenge that way. Keeps my skills sharp.
Maggie is his mate, and she is a hell of a cook. If he's bringing her a deer, I'd take that dinner invitation if I were you.
Well, if you decide to join us, let us know. Or we could bring something up to the Carson house. Take care of yourself.
Daniel and Maggie are some of my favorite people here. They just always put me at ease. I like spending time with them. Hey, you okay? A little dizzy? Let's head back to the house then. If I wear you out, Gretchen will rake me over the coals. No, I'm not afraid of her. I just don't want to be on her bad side. You want to know more about me? Well, there's not a lot to tell. Son of two alphas, lived here my whole life. I went to college anyways. Not much else to say. You ask a lot of questions. If I choose, I can become Pack Alpha one day. Either when Mom passes or when she retires. Yes, alphas can retire. Do I want to be Pack Alpha? I do. At least, I think so. It's kind of complicated. Alright, here we are. Sit down on the couch. No need for you to go back to your room just yet. Have you had your tea today? That much I do know about Sanguine-borns. The tea is essential. Oh, I'll make you a cup. Might help with that dizziness, too. I'm glad that you're okay. Don't worry. We'll help you through this. Your first shift isn't for another week or so, and we'll help you after that, too. For now, I'm going to make you a cup of tea. If it tastes anywhere near as bad as it smells, I don't envy you. I'd call it hot swamp water, and that's being nice. You're welcome. It's nice to show someone around. Now you sit down and relax. I'll be back soon.